Welcome back to TenTenths podcast. I'm your host, Robbie, sitting in the King Motorsports studio, and I'm sitting across from my co-host, Adam Nilsson.
Yeah, I'm back.
Back in the basement.
Still. No, I was here last week, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I was here last week.
You're making this a habit.
I'm trying to, Robbie, I swear.
It makes me so happy. I'm also making something else a habit.
I'm less happy about that.
It's going to be great.
Is it, though?
Yes.
You asked me if I was willing to step out of my comfort zone for something on the podcast, and I thought it was going to get real weird, but then you went to your fridge,
Yep.
and I'm still a little worried about it, but not as worried as I thought I might need to be.
I don't know if that's the right answer you should have.
I thought this was going to turn into some real weird shit.
Oh. That's
like some Dalton Klein weird shit.
That's for Slip Angle Patreon stuff.
Which, for those of you not in the know, there is another episode coming, and it is a full hour in length.
It's a doozy.
And you won't stop laughing the whole time.
I can't wait. I wasn't there. I know the story.
I'm
still going to buy it.
There's multiple stories. There's 10 stories in there. God. There's everything from meth pipes to street brawls.
Yep, I know those stories. Yep.
To
coitus.
Yeah, lots of that. Too much of that, frankly.
It's so good. I know all the stories, or at least most of the stories, but I wasn't there for the recording, so I'll have
rappelling? There's some rappelling involved.
Don't know that one.
Drunk rappelling.
I might know that one. I'll listen to it anyways.
God,
Slip Angle Patreon.
So
we gotta stop pimping everybody else's Patreon.
I know, right? But I can't wait to listen to it again.
It'll be good.
So
yeah, where do you want to start, man?
Let's start with something I have. So this is a little bit old because I don't keep track of these things very closely. But somebody semi-recently left us a review. February 2021, they left us a review.
I forgot that people did that because we pushed it really hard for a while.
Really hard, and now I just don't care. And this one might be my favorite one ever. It's beyond hilarious.
Okay.
It's by someone whose name is Jive Pigeon.
Whoa. I feel like Jive. It's crossing the line.
And Pigeon?
Did you ever see the movie Semi-Pro?
Yes.
We're in that scene where he's like, man, you were never in Nam, you jive turkey. And then they act like jive is the worst thing you could possibly say.
The worst word.
Pretty sure JT's over the line, man. We can all agree that you said cocksucker. Like, that's so much better. And the problem is no one's seen that movie, so I think it's one of my favorites.
That's like your favorite Will Ferrell movie.
Yeah, one of my favorites. And that scene specifically is always hilarious to me, but no one ever gets it when I'm
I need to watch it again because it's been a really long time since I've seen it. So anyway, Jive Pigeon, he titled his Ruined My Life.
It's a good start.
He gave us 5 stars, so I appreciate that. But I'm going to read this because it's masterful. Okay. I've been listening to these guys for years now, and it's led me from one bad decision to another. I used to be able to drive to work at a leisurely pace, but now I have to pass everyone so I can win the commute. I used to drink regular water. Now I won't touch it if there isn't some weird flavor like banana. I used to have a house and a wife, but now I live in a box truck in a truck stop parking lot, always waiting to score my next hit of value price coilovers or angle kits. I used to ride hella flush. Now I can't help myself. I ride hella gapped.
The best part is that people are going to read this like, what the hell is he talking about?
Dude, there's some serious callbacks in there.
There's a lot in there.
I mean, he says he's been listening for years, but damn, son.
Value price coilovers. I know
banana
that.
Water. Do you remember that?
Banana milk.
No, you bought a banana water.
Oh yeah, it was terrible.
It was terrible. It tasted like the banana peel.
Yes, it was terrible.
And it looked like urine. Yeah,
not good. Not good. Banana milk.
Yeah.
Tops. Banana water. Not tops.
No, not tops. So, I was pretty. I laughed for a long time at this.
That one's good.
Jive Pigeon, whoever you are, I really appreciate it.
We really do. And if you haven't yet, feel free to give us reviews on iTunes or where else can we give reviews? Facebook?
We have Facebook. I don't know if you can do them like Spotify.
Yeah, I don't remember. iTunes is the one that specifically stands out.
Yeah. So we have them on Facebook as well too. So
Facebook doesn't like to share our stuff ever.
No,
I think it's like 3 people it gets in front of.
It's not worth it.
No, I upload a video every week, but I really should stop because it doesn't matter.
No,
and who the hell watches a podcast on YouTube or Facebook?
I don't know.
Nobody. YouTube, yes. Facebook, no.
I don't know.
Anyways, this review was brought to you by Tech Boss Motorsports.
Yeah.
TechBossCompany.com. That's TEKBOSS Company.com for all of your scooter and electric go-karts and ATV needs. We have the code TenTenths for 10% off all products. I can't wait to use my next scooter at the pits. I won't be at Topeka for mid of TT, which reminds me, I won't be there, but we definitely need other people to be there. So if you're listening to this and you're anywhere near Topeka, sign up right now and go to Topeka for mid of TT.
Right.
It's going to be great.
Use it as practice to go to Gridlife.
That's what I really wanted to do, and my schedule would not allow me to do Topeka, and then I'm gone, and then it's Hallett.
Oh.
So it'd be 3 weekends in a row. It did not work, and I knew it wasn't going to happen. So
I can see that.
So I had to sacrifice the Heartland Park event, even though I really wanted to. I wanted the first event to be, because I knew it was going to be kind of rainy, and then it ended up being really rainy. So I could use that as practice in the rain, and that was a whole shit show.
What's that like, Robbie?
Exactly. We'll talk about it. And then I was hoping to do one more really good dry event, or whatever it's turned out to be, and as practice for Gridlife, but not quite so lucky.
Yeah.
But if you're going to Gridlife Topeka, or if you have the weekend free, go to Mid of TT Topeka.
Hell yeah.
But anyways, I can't wait to get back on to the pits and use my Tech Boss Company scooter, because I know he's letting me borrow some. And then the fun one, though, the Mototech 48-volt 2,000 watt. We talked about it last week. It is nuts. It is so fast.
So apparently he's rigged up some sort of hitch system for this. And you know those little kid bike trailers?
Yeah, like you put behind your... Yeah, like you go on the trails and bring your bike, and the two kids sit in the back.
Yeah, sit in the back. Not like the one that looks like a bike, but...
No. Like a
stroller
trike.
more.
Yeah.
Apparently he's rigged some sort of hitch system to that and put that behind him with his kid and his dog, and he tows him. They tow around, and he gets, like, I don't remember, I'd have to look it up now, but he gets like 20 miles on a charge or something like that.
That's crazy.
Something crazy.
Yeah,
that's on an upgraded version. He will modify an upgrade from the factory.
Yep.
And that's the upgraded or modified version of the one that they sell. But, that's crazy range. It's really impressive.
Yep. And for being what are considered budget electric scooters. And, like, because these are, Mototechs or Mad Airs or Uber Scoots. They're not, I don't know, what's a name brand? I don't know.
Razor?
Bird? Because you can buy the Bird scooters. Like,
can you buy the Bird ones, or do you just rent those?
I think you buy the used ones.
Oh.
Or I guess you could get them new.
I would never buy one of those.
Not unless it's like $100.
I don't even know.
Even then, man. You'd be way better off, because
the Razor ones are terrible. Don't buy those.
No, that's a waste
of time. And that's not me saying this, because Don's...
No, they're terrible. Hard stop.
They're garbage.
These are not garbage. They come with a warranty.
Hell yeah.
And Don will modify them to your liking, and he'll still warranty that too. His customer service is second to none.
Yeah.
And I think if you've listened to the show with him on it, he's proven that time and time again. Because he was warranting stuff that had nothing to do with him. I was like, hey man, this is broken. I can fix that. Great.
We should have him back on. It's been a while.
He was suggested as another guest to come back on recently from a listener.
Okay.
So
fair enough.
Yep. He had some good listener interactions lately.
Oh,
I had somebody offer me a lightweight flywheel for the Z, and I was like, dude, you're like 30 hours late. Like, the transmission's
just
back
got
in.
it back in.
Just
there.
put it back in.
Yeah.
Thought if I have to pull it back out, I'll hit you up.
Fair enough.
But yeah, techbosscompany.com, TEKBOSS company.com. Hit him up. Use the code TenTenths, or just give him a call. Kind of see what deals he can make, and make sure to just mention us, and everybody wins.
Yeah. Should we open it up, or do you want to do whatever this is?
I can open it up with this.
Are you going to open that?
I can open this up.
I'm really.
So
you've let me stew on this long enough now that I feel like I've made a mistake.
It's a problem now.
Yeah.
So you know how I don't drink alcohol?
Yeah. Neither do I.
Yeah, which I commend you, because I don't like alcohol.
Right.
But I do like sparkling water, which you also don't like.
I'm not a fan.
But because the only thing I ever truly missed about drinking was beer, craft beer. You made a mistake and you know it. So,
This is some hoppy refresher bullshit, isn't it?
you wish.
Is it worse than that?
So,
How can it be worse?
you'll find out.
The fuck is
And by worse, you mean better.
Is this like some Natty Light NA
This is Athletic Brewing Company.
athletic?
Athletic Brewing Company. It is a alcohol or non-alcoholic beer company. They do craft beers. They have like 3 or 4 that are like in their main stable, and then they do a couple different seasonal ones. This Run Wild IPA is their kind of like their claim to fame. It's an
IPA.
It's ranked. I can't remember what the number was. It's a top 50 beer in the world, and I think it was the highest ranked non-alcoholic beer.
I would only imagine.
Yep. So they built an entire business around focusing on people that like or not alcoholic beers and stuff like that, but without the alcohol. And so I've been a fan of these for a while, and I really like these. Bill really likes these because he's the one that turned me on to them.
Don't give me a strong pour here. That's all I'm saying.
We're not going to split this 50-50?
No. No, we are not, Robbie.
When was the last time you had a beer of any kind? Because I think you haven't had a drop of alcohol in like 15 years.
I don't know that I could put a time on the last time I've tried a beer.
You were a teenager? Probably.
I mean, yeah, maybe.
But yeah, this is like the only thing I missed at the end, like the end of a hard day, like just cracking a beer and relaxing. Like one beer. That's all I missed.
See, I just do a root beer.
It's not the same. I don't like that. That's too much sugar at the end of the day. And that's someone with a huge sweet tooth.
Oh, see, I don't know.
So, have you ever had an IPA?
No, my only beer experience is like
a Natural Light or a Busch Light or like a light American beer?
like a Bud or
like a lager?
Busch or something like that, yeah.
We're all in for a treat.
Yeah. Oh, God. I don't have a chaser either.
It's just beer. You don't need a chaser.
The fuck I don't. I need some water
fine.
or something.
It's kind of got an amber
God,
color.
that looks like a beer even.
Smell it. Smells like a beer too, right?
God, it's so...
That's a proper beer smell.
Oh. But there's not the alcohol smell.
No.
So that's like
non-alcoholic brew.
much more beer smell than I'm used to because there's no alcohol.
So it's brewed like a real beer, and they take the alcohol out. So it's not, they can't claim 0. So it's like less than 0.5%. So you could drink like 20 of these, and you'd never actually get drunk because you would
you'd process it out.
Yeah, there's more alcohol. Like it's like eating a banana. There's alcohol in a banana.
Or potassium.
Yeah, but you don't actually feel the alcohol effects because you absorb it faster than you can actually put it in your body. So yeah, if you see me at a Gridlife and I'm drinking what looks like a beer, it's this or something similar.
I'm not happy about this, Robbie.
I can't believe you agreed to do it.
God damn it!
I think
this is going to be gross.
You used to say it's bitterness level. I can't remember. It's bitter.
See, I don't like things that are bitter.
Yes,
like
yeah, but it's fine. It's fine. This is brew without compromise since 2017.
All right, fuck it. Here we go.
Keep that mic close. Everyone wants to hear.
Don't think they do, Robbie.
It's not even alcohol.
I can't even do it because it's the smell.
It's a good smell.
It's not that.
It's
good.
hoppy. It smells like hops.
I don't think that's a good smell, Robbie.
Hops is a good smell. I like hops.
Oh.
And for the record, this is a very hoppy IPA.
Yeah. I'm gonna bounce out of here. Oh, it's so bad.
It's not bad. It's great.
Oh. Oh, it's so bitter.
Yeah, it's good, right?
No.
It's good.
Oh.
You don't like it at all?
No. That might be the worst thing we've ever tried on the show.
No, it's not. Well, on the show for you? Yeah, probably, for
on
sure.
the show, yeah. No, I take that back. Remember that salty candy?
That's not a drink, but yeah, that was the worst by
That
far.
was the worst thing, but this is a close second, Robbie.
This is the worst drink for you.
How do you enjoy? Oh man, it doesn't
good.
go away.
It does too go away. It goes away almost immediately.
Oh, it's no.
It hits you like wasabi. Like you get the flavor immediately and then it's gone.
That's gross,
No,
dude.
it's not, dude. I will completely agree that beer is an acquired taste. Some people absolutely hate it.
That means
like
it's
you.
bad.
No, it is not.
If it's an acquired taste, that means it's bad.
No, it's good. This is good. I like it. Now you're mad.
That's gross.
I was actually drinking these with Booney the other day. Well, not this one specifically, but actually, what I should do, I should bring you some of the lemon radlers. You'd actually probably like those.
Oh man, I don't get you people.
I guarantee you,
Beer drinkers.
I guarantee. Well, if you're in Des Moines, you can get these at Hy-Vee now. But normally you'd have to order them from the website, which is why I don't do it as often because it's in EPI shipping, and then it turns into a very expensive beer. Don't let that go to waste. These are expensive.
That's going to waste, Robbie. I told you not to give me a strong pour.
That wasn't. It was like a
That's
little.
no.
That's like a
No.
shot. That's like a
It's
shot.
not even. It's gross. You should be ashamed.
So good. This beer tasting was presented by Factory Fabrication. FactoryFabrication.com for all your fabrication, wood and metal fabrication needs. He also drinks non-alcoholic beers with me.
Good for him.
He loves them.
He loves a lot of things I'm not a particularly huge fan of.
Like what? You guys love cats?
That's like about the end.
Yeah, that's about it.
Yeah.
You're both cat people.
I like bratwurst, just not the way he prepares them. I don't eat them with ketchup because
No.
ketchup is garbage as well.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
But
He fed me the rawest steak I've ever eaten.
that sounds great.
Yeah, it was good.
I bet him and I would get along great with steaks.
For sure. For sure.
Yeah. We could do steak
I said,
together.
he goes, how do you want it? I said medium rare. And he looked at me, he's like, no, not good enough. I was like, fine. You just make it like yours and I'll eat it.
He asked you out of common courtesy.
I know he did.
That that's not what you were getting.
Well, I was like, just make me how you make it. I'll eat it. I know you're going to make it good. Anyways,
Yeah.
If you need to get caged or railed, head over to factoryfabrication.com or give Booney a call and kind of describe the project that you're looking at, whether it's railing for your house or furniture or, shoot, anything made out of metal or wood. He's got you covered. And if you tell him that I sent you, he'll hook you up. Maybe they're busy as hell. They'll fit you in, though.
He definitely won't hook you up if you tell him I sent you now.
Yeah.
Because I just dissed like basically everything he loves, which is fine.
How do you feel about BMWs?
I mean, they're not my favorite car in the world, that's for sure.
Okay. Well, if you have a BMW that need to get a roll bar in, he'll hook you up.
Or a 350Z.
Yep. If you need a cage in your 350Z, he knows how to do it now. I think he actually kept all the dimensions and stuff. So if you needed one, he's already got it ready.
There you go.
Knock it right out in no time. Factoryfabrication.com. You want another drink?
No.
I can get you a lighter one for next week.
No, don't even bother. Just keep your shit to yourself, Robbie. Oh, it's so gross. Doesn't taste any better coming back up.
It's so good.
Oh,
So good.
yuck.
Oh, come on.
Let's move on.
You're so dramatic.
Let's move on.
You're so dramatic. You have an opener.
Yeah, I don't really know how I got here on this, but for some reason I was thinking about average ages of people who buy cars.
Specific cars.
Right, like by brand or by not model. What's the word I'm
Type?
looking for? Type.
Okay.
Sports car, luxury car, or minivan.
Yeah,
that sort of thing. I don't know why I was thinking about that. I think that
'Cause you just
somebody
bought a
was
minivan.
talking about it on another podcast that I listen to occasionally. I think is where it came from. I don't really know. But I Googled it and I found this on CarMax.com. We're just going to cover this real quickly. There's not a ton of shockingly interesting information in here.
Okay.
It really kind of boils down exactly as you might think it would. So if you want to scroll down there to the first graphic that they show there, which brands have the oldest and youngest buyers? So the average age. So this is done by CarMax. So this is specific to purchasers of cars at CarMax.
Oh. Who the hell buys cars at CarMax?
I don't know. Lots of people probably.
Actually, I did look at them there because they're reasonably priced.
Yeah. So average age of purchase of the brand at CarMax. So the oldest average age of any car brand at CarMax, not a surprising or shocking statistic, Cadillac.
You don't say.
Yeah, I wasn't surprised by this
say.
one either. 47.1 years of age, which I thought was kind of surprisingly low. Honestly, because Cadillac in the last, let's say, 10 years has done a pretty good job of marketing itself to the younger crowd, I'm a little surprised that maybe Buick specifically, didn't end up older. Although, because Buick today certainly has made a few cars that kind of
would pull them down to the younger
market
ages.
to a younger age, but CarMax only sells used cars. Those are fairly new cars, so I kind of figured that they would be a little bit older. Also, this is already 3 years old because this was posted in 2018.
Oh yeah,
so this is pretty old by even our standards.
No, it's right. It's right on par with our reporting.
That's fair. You're not wrong.
This is some compelling journalism.
Yeah. So, Buick came in second, 45.6 years of age. Lexus, Mercedes, GMC rounding out the top five.
Yep.
Lexus, I also kind of think could have maybe pulled down because they're kind of sporty-ish.
But I think the problem is the cars that the younger the younger age people are buying is the second or third ownership.
Yeah, you're usually the fourth owner of a Lexus if you're
our age,
28.
Yeah.
So, scroll down a little bit so I can see the bottom of it there, Robbie. Mazda's on the very bottom. They went up to 22 different manufacturers. Mazda being the very bottom at 36.8 years of age, which I thought was kind of interesting. That's not a very low number.
No.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, you would think that there'd be enough of a focused
20-somethings.
Yeah.
Also, I'm kind of surprised that it's Mazda and not
Kia,
Hyundai,
Mitsubishi's not even on the list.
Honda, Toyota. Well, I suppose a lot of older people are buying Toyotas too.
Yeah.
But just companies that just make cars that are cheap and easy for people who don't care about cars and also don't have very much money to get into.
Yeah, like a 16-year-old buying their first Mitsubishi.
Well, because I assume that a 16-year-old is probably doing it through their parents, so that number is going to be skewed. But I'm talking you're 21 years old,
college
you're full
age.
of piss and vinegar, you just graduated from college. I just need a car to get me from place to place. This beater piece of shit that mom and dad bought me when I turned 16 just isn't cutting it anymore.
Yep.
I'm going to go buy a Kia. I'm going to go buy a Hyundai. I'm going to go buy a Toyota. I'm going to go buy a Honda. Something like that.
Chevy's surprisingly young at 17 with 38.9.
Yeah, it is kind of low. But yeah, I just thought that 36.8 was kind of a surprisingly high number. Also, I don't know what CarMax, if they have an age limitation, we won't sell a car that's more than 12 years old or whatever.
Oh, for sure. I honestly think CarMax, is selling newer-ish used cars.
And so I think the average age of a Mazda owner across all of Mazda's time is probably a pretty low number today.
Yeah, I'd say so.
If you took all of the Mazdas that Mazda has ever made and you figure out who
still in existence,
who owns them right now today, and you averaged that number, it would be relatively low.
Yes.
But if you looked at how old the person who bought it brand new was, I'll bet that number is way higher.
Yeah, I would say so.
Because most people buying Miatas are not 24.
No, not
brand
usually.
new Miatas.
No.
They're buying 15-year-old Miatas.
Yeah. Typically, even the newer ones, they're not buying them new.
Oh, it just keeps coming back, Robbie.
It stays with you.
It's so gross.
You're gonna text me when you're in bed tonight. You're dude, I just burped it up again.
I don't understand. It's gross.
It's good.
Anyway, let's go to the next one. There wasn't a ton of surprising information in there. Next one, which type of vehicles have the oldest and youngest buyers? So this is the average age of purchase of vehicle type at CarMax
Okay.
in 2018. Pickup trucks being the oldest of 43.7, which is
That's
kind of also surprising.
I am surprised. Just looking at it right off the bat, I wouldn't have put that. I don't want to jump ahead, but like there's third from the bottom is what I would expect to be the highest by far.
Highest in age?
Yes.
Yes, so you're talking luxury vehicles.
Yes.
I would expect that one to be the highest average age as well.
By a margin.
By a margin, yeah, absolutely. 42.2. So sedans and coupes, 37.4. I also would that's the bottom one. That's the lowest, 37.4. I would have expected sports cars, which is 38.4, so the second lowest. I would have expected that to be pushed up higher. Also, I'm supremely shocked that minivans and vans is the second oldest at 42. Almost 43.
Yeah, you would think that.
That'd be way lower too.
Yeah.
Because people who are my age and younger who are starting families buy minivans.
Right. People in their 40s have well-established families.
Right. And I'm a little bit curious about this because I think as you get older, you tend to maybe get to the point where you're financially stable and capable of buying brand new vehicles.
Yep. Yeah.
So, like, I feel like, I'm surprised that there's so many 40-somethings and older.
Yeah, because
old enough that they're offsetting the 20-somethings buying pickup trucks that aren't brand new.
Yeah.
Like, my dad, his truck, it wasn't new. He's second owner, but he bought it as a certified pre-owned vehicle from a dealership.
Right.
I think your dad was new.
My dad always buys new because it's part of the business.
Right, yeah, part of the business, so that makes sense. But, like, I would think that, as I get into, like, my mid-40s and up, like, you would think you would transition into just buying new ones.
And then trading it in for another new one.
Right.
Yeah. No.
So I'm kind of there now. Specifically because, like,
it's a tool. You use it.
Right, but early 20-somethings buy them as status symbols.
Yeah. No.
More than tools.
No, mine's a tool.
Tools buy them as status symbols.
That's fair.
So, I don't know. I just thought that was kind of weird that pickup trucks was at the very tippy top.
No, I would expect luxury vehicles to be at the tippy top. And
by a pretty good margin.
Multiple years,
Yeah.
Sedans and coupes, I get. That seems like it would be the lowest.
Yeah, that's kind of a broad spectrum. I would be interested to know, what do they qualify as a sports car versus a sedan or a coupe? Because, like, is an M3 a sedan or is it a sports car?
There's a 350Z, a sports car.
350Z is a sports car, for sure.
But
would an M3 or an M4, would those be sedans and coupes, or are those sports cars? Or like Golf GTIs, Golf Rs.
I bet those fall into those.
Subaru STIs.
Yeah, that's for sure. Sedans and coupes, I bet.
Right, but then an FRS. That's a sports car.
Yeah, but if I had to pick from this list, yeah, for sure.
So, it'd be interesting to know how they what they use as qualifiers for where it ends up in vehicle type. So, and then there's, I think, one or two more down here. This one's weird. Ages of minivan buyers at CarMax.
That falls in line with what I expect to see.
Yeah, percentage of CarMax minivan purchases by age group. So, 20 years old, basically 20 to 25, 1.2% of the minivans they sell go to 20 to 25-year-olds. But by the time you get to 30, 35, 20%.
Yep.
And then it just drops right back down there from there. I don't know. I still think that's... Well, I guess I'm 34, so yeah.
Yeah, no, I think that falls in line because let's assume that
tracks, I suppose.
Let's use you as an example. Because you had your first child at what, 25? 26?
I was 28.
Were you really? God, you're old.
I'm fucking old, Robbie.
But that would put you in the 5.3% range.
Yeah.
And you didn't buy your minivan until you were in your 30s,
yep.
which would put you in the 20.7% range. Because when you had your first child, you only needed 3 seats.
Yeah, I think that you might be onto something there.
Then you have your second child.
You have your second and or third and or fourth child. You start to like this little fucking
the sedan's not cutting it.
Yeah, this 3
Focus.
Series. Yeah, this Focus exactly.
This Focus
just
ain't
isn't
working.
cutting it. I need a Honda Odyssey. So yeah, you're probably right. Most people don't jump straight to the minivan.
No.
They evolve to the minivan.
They hold out as long as they can.
And then they wish they would have done it sooner, Robbie.
Because everyone knows Adam loves a minivan,
They're
even though he
fucking
said he'd
great.
never drive one.
I never said it. I love it.
Just like you said, I hate beer, but eventually you'll come around.
I don't think I will, Robbie.
No, it's just like the minivan all over again. You're like, I hate minivans, but then now look at you, you love them.
I'll say it, Robbie. I will never enjoy a beer.
Mark it down. I guarantee you we'll beat him down enough. He'll enjoy them. One day.
I said it, Robbie.
That's so
I
good.
said it.
One day.
Daniel doesn't even have to doctor this audio.
Nope. It'll come back. Don't worry.
Gross. So I don't know if there's anything else in here that's even worth talking about.
No, probably not.
But yeah, I don't know why why this sprang to my mind. It just did. So
Interesting.
yeah. See, Robbie, it's getting you too.
Oh, it does make me a little burpy. I will admit that. That's always why I don't drink them on the show, because I get burpy.
It does. Yeah, that's why I don't have a root beer with me right now.
Yep.
So,
But before we jump into it, remind everybody to head over to Petrobox, mypetrobox.com. Use the code TTP15, 15% off your box, not 10, 15. If you want to get a subscription box in the mail once a month, it has car care products. Shirts are pretty common. We've had magazines, tools, car care products. My shelf is full of car care products because I get something new every month, and it's useful. Like Jack's Wax Wheel Cleaner. I've used that. They had Sonax wax or Sonax wheel cleaner before in the past, the spray bottle. I think I like the Jack's Wax better, but I never would have tried it had I not gotten the box. And then I have all my car shampoos, carpet shampoos. Got all I need, man.
I just like the T-shirts.
I wear the t-shirts
T-shirts
regularly.
are the thing that I won't buy
No,
normally.
but they'll show up every month in your box.
That's fine.
Yes,
That I'll take.
yes, and they're good shirts. They're comfy.
Yeah.
It's a shirt that I feel comfortable in, and you feel comfortable in, and we have very different views on comfortable shirts.
I did have to bump up a size.
because they have the medium sizes.
They're a little bit of the tight fitting. So if you're like me where you don't like a tight fitting shirt, maybe bump a size.
If you like me and you like shirts that fit, go with your normal size. Gloves. Oh, the Grease Monkey gloves.
Yeah.
Used those until they had holes in them, so I could use another set of those.
Hint, hint, John.
Then obviously I talk about
Jesus Christ.
Eagle Grit. Use that every day. Or not every day, every time I work in the shop. But yeah, if you wanted to get that, and then also get thrown into the running for a set of Rotiform wheels every month, sign up for the box. That's mypetrobox.com. And then also if you want to get in on the dog leashes and collars, I would recommend going to their website and using our code, because you're going to get them while they're still in stock.
Are they still in stock? I was just going to ask that question.
While they're still in stock and at a discounted price, whereas that may not be the case for long. Hint, hint, wink, wink. If you want them, get them now.
Yeah, buddy.
MyPetrobox.com. Yep. Good news for Petrobox. Sounds like they're going to be getting out and about, getting in front of more people. So yeah, if you are thinking about getting these collars and leashes and for your pets,
I still
dogs.
think that Subaru collar and that BMW collar,
popular.
those should sell like hotcakes.
Yep. Nope. I got the R32 dog collar on Yancey, and I got the carbon fiber dog collar on Kyle, and I have the matching leashes to go with them.
I have the Gulf livery one.
I'm shocked.
As no one is shocked. On Lily.
Yep.
And Katie kind of wanted the pink pig one because it was pink and it's a girl.
Of course.
But I was like, nah, man, we're not doing that.
No, they're great, and they're like super reasonably priced leashes and collars.
Really? So my dog is kind of a crazed thing.
Yeah, of course.
She's a nutcase, to say it nicely. And it's held up really well. Mm-hmm. The quality of these leashes is really, really good.
Yep. No, we swapped over on both our dogs and I took them to the farm, and then Yancey effectively rolled in shit in his. So they cleaned up nicely.
Oh, good.
They cleaned up nicely.
Good. Jesus Christ.
So thanks, dog. But yeah, you'll be able to see those on other websites. But if you want to get them at a discounted price using our code and get them now while they're still in stock, mypetrobox.com.
Should we talk about what I did, Robbie?
Yeah, let's do that. Besides drinking beer, of course.
To nobody's shock and awe, went to yet another Gridlife event.
Oh, is that they still doing those?
Yeah.
Huh.
In between the rain.
No. They do it in the rain.
Well, okay, but in between the rain, we still get out of our trailers and put a car on track.
Oh.
Here and there.
Yeah, allegedly.
A little bit everywhere. So this year, we were at Autobahn Country Club.
I thought that was always like
weekend.
the hottest weekend of the year.
Generally speaking, I feel like they take Joliet, Illinois, and they transplant it from Earth to like Mercury, maybe Venus, but probably Mercury, because it's significantly closer to the sun than the Earth normally is, apparently, because it's somewhere between 190 and 200 degrees there pretty consistently. They have a completely black top, like dark black. I think it might be painted black. Their paddock space.
Ooh.
And so it's always just ungodly hot.
Like baking cookies.
Yeah. Because not only do you get the sun shining down on you, but it hits that black surface and then it just comes up from below too.
So
and
it's steaming hot all night.
It's just gross there. Pretty regularly.
But it wasn't that hot this weekend.
This year it was a more reasonable temperature. Yeah, I'll give you that. Soggy as can be.
Yikes.
And we were also twice we were told to batten down the hatches for severe weather. One of those times, but we had the potential of some tornadic activity, which did not materialize.
That's good.
It turns out Dalton's girlfriend Sam is a real chicken shit when it comes to tornadoes.
She did not grow up in the Midwest.
She came from Florida.
But they have hurricanes.
Yeah, but they know them things are coming for like weeks in advance.
And they can prep for it and leave.
Yeah. Tornadoes just hit you out of the blue. You got nowhere to go, and then they just go away again.
Yeah, you just hope that it doesn't follow your path.
Yeah, so I guess that's real bad for them.
Huh.
That never materialized, thank God. But so Saturday, well, let's start at the beginning here.
Yeah.
So Friday, I decided, well, this is the closest event we get to us. It's about 5.5, almost 6 hours from my house. And so my plan, I managed in the weeks leading up to this to talk Katie and Logan into going with me. And so we got all ready the week of. You know how my weeks always are, right?
Yeah, so you were ready on Monday, packed, everything was good.
No.
Oh, wait.
No, that was not the case.
Oh.
So I decided that it would be a really good idea to work 60 hours last week in a 5-hour span, or a 5-day span. I worked a 60-hour week.
Okay.
So that was cool.
Yeah, pretty average week.
Yeah, pretty average week is right. Yeah, absolutely. So, so we were able to get to the grocery store and get all the things that we thought we might need. See, what day was that? We recorded Thursday last week. So Wednesday, I went to, after working way too long and sleeping not nearly enough, I got up and went to the grocery store, and we got the foodstuffs and the things that we needed. So that was taken care of. But I did not have time to pack my own clothes or anything like that. So Katie had to do that for me on Friday.
Okay.
And then Thursday afternoon, right before I came here, my boss calls me and he goes, "Hey, what do you think about going to Davenport tomorrow?"
I don't want to.
And I was like, I really don't want to do that because I also have to go to Chicago tomorrow because I decided not to take any time off because it's the closest event, right?
Of course.
And so he's like, well, too bad you're going. It's essentially what that boiled down to. So I went to Davenport for work on Friday morning.
Yep.
And then I was like, man, I don't want to drive all the way back to Des Moines.
No.
Turn around and come back. So I managed to, through much kicking and screaming, talk Katie into meeting me at the world's largest truck stop.
Okay. That's
on I-80.
But still, it gives you about a 2-hour head start.
Yeah, so that's only like 15 or 20 minutes outside of Davenport.
Yeah.
And so my coworkers took my truck, which was actually the hardest part about this whole thing.
They were kicking and screaming?
No,
Or
I
you
am
protective?
admittedly over the top protective of my work truck.
Yes.
That was the first time that anybody not only has driven it other than me since it was given to me, but without me there for sure.
Yeah.
Someone may have moved it forward or backward a little bit without me in the driver's seat, but I was there. This is definitely the first time that truck has been on the road at highway speeds without me driving it since it was given to me.
But it went okay.
And I was not...
You're a little anxious?
I was not excited about it. And I admit that I'm like wildly overprotective of it.
It's not a bad thing. I mean, your boss has to appreciate the fact that he knows he can trust you with it.
But I was like really very close to adding 3 hours to my day just so I didn't have to let one of my coworkers drive it for me.
No, I think you made the right call.
Yeah, so I didn't. Yeah, Katie met me there. We drove down there. We arrived at Autobahn. I don't know. It wasn't too late. 7-ish.
That's not bad.
It wasn't that bad. Pulled in there. We were parked next to. I don't know if it's Jorge or George. Depends on how. I'm gonna go with Jorge.
Ortiz.
Yeah,
Jorge Ortiz. He's got the purple Miata.
GLTC competitor.
Yep, he's done mid-div with us. Hung out a decent amount with him.
Okay.
Last year, quite a bit.
Yeah, awesome.
I want to say Jorge.
Yeah, we're going with Jorge. I know he listens because that's where this story is going. So I'm sorry, man.
I've talked to him offline, online, many times.
So
don't remember this.
We were pitted next to him. He actually on the way down there. This got shared in his story, and I know you saw it because he tagged you in it.
Yep.
He almost bought you the little horse that you can ride on, like on a broomstick.
Jess almost bought me one yesterday at Walmart because it had a T-Rex head and it made noises.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
I was like, I'm glad you didn't.
That's hilarious. He said the only reason he didn't get it is because he knew you weren't coming.
Ah, fair.
So I get that. I appreciate that. But so I pull up the van right behind the stacker right next to Jabuddy. And I get out of the van. I'm kind of moving things around. And he walks over and he goes, yeah, that hood's definitely been repainted. And I was like, thanks, man. Thanks. I know. He's a body guy.
Yes, he is.
That's how he opened. I was like, wow.
He comes in hot.
Are savage.
Yep, he comes in as if you're best friends.
He got me good.
Yep, because
he got me good.
Because he came to Mid-Div for a few events last year, and it was like we'd been buddies forever.
Yeah,
we just hung out,
which is fine. I'm not mad at. Don't take it wrong.
No,
I'm not mad. I laughed, but I was like, damn,
coming in hot
hurts. That hurts me deep. It's definitely been repainted. Yeah, well, go fuck yourself.
I appreciate that he did that to you. Did he also tell you it was green?
No, he didn't say that. But it's gray, so it doesn't matter. So yeah, that's pretty much my Friday. I wanted to get that in there because it was too funny not to talk about.
Good.
So
that's so good.
Saturday morning rolls around. We were able to get one time attack session that was live streamed. Me and Abe were on the time attack session stuff, and then I think we got, what did GLTC get? I think they got a practice and a quali on Saturday.
I want to say yes,
but not race one.
Correct.
Was there supposed to be race 1 and 2? Was there supposed to be 4 races this weekend?
Yeah, typically.
I know there has to be 3 races for it to count as a points weekend.
Yeah, typically they do.
But they typically do 4?
Yeah.
Okay. So we didn't get any GLTC races in, and we only got one timed time attack session. And the reason for that is because Dalton decided to take off his wet tires. Which I can't remember. I know they're a Goodyear of some kind. I think they're the original wheels and tires to the Camaro.
So like a 300 treadwear?
I don't know what they are, but he was assuming that they were probably better in the wet than his RS4s.
He's right, probably.
But it started to it had been raining a little bit all day, but it wasn't too bad. And so Dalton decided, you know what? The track's starting to dry. We're getting there. I'm going to throw the RS4s on. He got 3 tires into his 4-tire change, and it just opened up. So everyone can thank Dalton for the shitty Saturday we had.
Yeah, I was watching. I saw pictures coming up, Instagram stories and like stuff like that, and I was like, "That's what Topeka was like."
Yeah,
it was. It looked awful.
Oh, dude, it rained so hard.
Yep.
I'm so incredibly happy that we had the stacker.
Oh yeah. If you would have had just a tent.
Yeah. Well, we'd have been in the van,
but still.
But I'm so glad we had the stack because I had my wife, which wasn't that big a deal, but my 5-year-old. Cooped up in a van like that would have been really tough.
Yeah, he would got sick of that real fast.
Yeah. So I can't begin to describe you how clutch the stacker trailer is, especially when it's not yours.
Oh, that's the best part.
It's the best part, for sure. Yeah, Dalton's $4,000 into a $6,000 trailer in brakes and hubs, and then he lost one on the way home.
What?
Yeah, he already lost one of them.
One of the hubs?
So the same one that smoked.
The one that failed on the way to Gingerman.
The same one that failed on the way to Gingerman. We think that... So he just replaced the bearing on that.
Yes.
He just replaced the bearings, I should say. He replaced the brakes and the bearings on the trailer.
Okay.
And we think that maybe the hub sustained some damage that we couldn't see with the naked eye.
Oh, so it's...
And it ate that bearing again.
Ah, shit.
On the way home.
Just that one, though?
Just that one.
Shit. That sucks.
Yeah. So I didn't know that until like Monday morning. Well, I guess it would have been later than that because they drove partway home Sunday and then the rest of the way home Monday. So I don't know that I even knew that till like yesterday, maybe Tuesday.
Oh, wow.
But yeah, he smoked another one on the way home. So it kind of sucks for him.
Yeah, it's awful.
But yeah, anyway, yeah, it was really nice having that. We were able to kind of spread out. My son is pretty low key. He's pretty easy to entertain. You put an iPad in front of him and he'll be quiet for hours. I know that's class A parenting, but it's fine. Don't worry about it. So, yeah, Saturday was a real shit show of a day. It rained real hard for real long. And then Adam ended up, I'm sure with the track staff, they ended up calling the race or calling the day.
Yep.
Because I think that Autobahn may have offered us the use of North Course if that was any better. But both North and South courses had areas where the track was so flooded and so underwater that you would have basically been guaranteed to, had you have driven a car through those areas, that you would have hydrolocked the engines. You just smoked them. And it was something crazy, like 7 places on one track and 9 places on the other, or something silly.
Yeah, that's too many. That's crazy.
Like there's a waterway that flows through the middle of South Course, which is the course we were racing on.
Yep.
That in years past I didn't know existed. This year was a full-on raging river.
It looked super wet on Sunday on anything that went off track.
Yeah, it was real bad. We went for, of course, 10 minutes after they call off the day. The skies open up, the clouds kind of start to burn away. I wouldn't call it a nice sunny day, but It was better, and the rain completely stopped. And
what time was this? Did they call it? Because it wasn't super early.
I want to say it was probably like 5.
That's still pretty late in the day.
5-ish, maybe 6-ish, and the track was supposed to go cold at 8.
Oh, I didn't realize they were going that late. Okay.
Yeah. Last time attack session was 7.
Okay.
And that was supposed to close out the day. So, but by 7 o'clock, it would have been a real shitty, wet mess.
Oh, yeah.
But you could have done an event.
Ugh. That's not a fun time.
No, it wouldn't have been any fun. It would have been a wasted time.
Plus, as soon as you get one person to dip a wheel off, ruins it for everybody.
Yeah, and Autobahn, I mean, they were pretty understanding of the whole deal, but I think they're very proud of their graphs, as they should be. It's a country club, At the end of the day, this is kind of a fancy place to have a race.
Yeah.
And Gridlife absolutely is the maximum limit of entries that an event can hold at Autobahn.
Okay. Yeah. No, I think they do a good job of keeping that relationship.
Their paddock was tight.
As in full?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We were parked next to, you can see it here, the Fortners and their their supercharged Audi S4. And they have a real nice, relatively, I'm guessing brand new even, pretty long enclosed trailer.
Okay. Like a 28-footer?
No, I would say it's longer than that.
Oh, wow. Okay.
It's bumper hitch still, so it's not like 40s.
It's got maxed out like 32, right?
But it's got to be every inch of 32 feet.
Oh, wow.
It's a big
trailer.
Yeah. But we were so close to them that when you opened up the side door on Dalton's trailer that was towards their trailer,
Yep.
there was barely a finger's width between their trailer and the door.
Oh, wow.
At its closest. Like, that's how tightly packed in there we were.
Good grief. Yeah, because like the Kellys, they usually have kind of a pretty nice setup for all their Myriad racing team.
Yeah.
You could see that they don't have it set up anywhere near.
No, they're
like
on
they
the
do.
other side.
Oh, but it's still not
So
the same setup they've been doing.
those two cars that you can see in the picture that Robbie's got pulled up here.
Those are North Dakota drivers.
Yes, that's Jake, and I can't ever remember the other guy's name.
That's probably the one that was like super nice to me too.
And then Justin and Tiff were on the other side of that, taking up as much space as they always do.
Oh, gotcha.
So, but yeah. So yeah, it was real tight. It was, yeah. That's as many people as you can pack
Did
in.
they sell out?
I can't imagine that it wasn't.
Okay. Yeah, so if it's even remotely close to that packed, it had to have been, right?
Yeah, I would think. So, but yeah, that pretty much wiped out our Saturday. I guess I should say Friday night when after Dalton and Ryan returned from their IKEA trip, because I guess that's what you do.
Huh?
They went to IKEA.
Why?
So Ryan needed a chair that IKEA refused to ship.
Okay.
And so they went to get it after they unloaded the cars on Friday afternoon.
Okay.
And so when I got there, they weren't there. They were at IKEA.
Okay. Did he get his chair?
He did get his chair. And I really bummed out that I didn't get to go on an IKEA trip with Dalton Klein.
That would have been worth it.
That would have been the best.
IKEA itself, I don't care.
Right, but with Dalton,
yeah,
it's a whole new look on things.
anything with Dalton.
Yeah.
But
so then Friday night when we got back, we did record the newest Slip Angle Patreon show that has not yet been released as of the recording of this particular show on Wednesday.
It should be out soon enough.
Yeah. Abe is deep in the throes of moving.
How?
From Indianapolis to Louisville. So I think he's homeless right now, actually. I think he's living in their RV. They are.
Well, he's got an RV. That's
Yeah,
nice.
so at least he has an RV. But yeah, so he's otherwise busy.
If he's in an RV, he's got nothing better to do than edit podcasts.
That's what I said.
What else are you going to do with your time?
But I don't know. He's trying to figure
It's not like
out.
he has to make a video of it.
He's got his new job and all that horse shit, you know?
It's selfish.
Yeah, I know, right? So anyway, so Friday night before Dalton recorded that show,
Yep.
he said, and I quote, "I'm not drunk enough to do this yet."
Oh, boy.
So he shotgunned a beer in front of my 5-year-old.
Of course he did.
Yeah.
So did you have to explain to Logan
Not
what
really.
happened?
Not really. But so this is why I've doubled back on this story. Right?
Yeah, yeah.
So then fast forward to Saturday night. The rain has stopped. The people have done what we do at Gridlife. Now we're mingling, we're partying, we're enjoying ourselves.
Yeah, we're having
right?
good times.
So we were kind of walking around. We're doing our paddock walk. We went out on the track for a little while. We caught some frogs. We looked at a few things. We came back in and we're walking. And I had a can of Mountain Dew, and again, Class A parenting.
Yeah,
I let Logan take a few drinks of it here and there. Like not.
You didn't have his own can?
No.
Okay.
No, he didn't have his own can.
Fair enough.
He's not like consuming copious amounts of Mountain Dew at 8:00 at night. But and so I'm holding the can, and he's pointing. So he talks really well. I mean, he's 5,
Yeah.
so he can carry on a full conversation. But sometimes there's just things that he doesn't quite know how to explain,
Like shotgunning a beer.
like shotgunning a beer. And so he's pointing at my can, at the bottom of the can, and then talking about how
He needs the keys. He needs keys.
how like asking how you drink from there.
So did you hand him your keys?
No.
Oh.
And so so we brought him some high C boxes, right? The little boxed juices. We brought some of those for the weekend.
As you do.
And so against my better judgment, but also because I think it's hilarious, and I just want to reiterate, Katie was with me, She knew it was happening.
Yep.
She didn't put up a fight. She thought it was as funny.
She could have stopped it.
She thought it was as funny as I did. We decided we were going to go back to the trailer and try and teach my 5-year-old how to shotgun a high C.
You taught him or Dalton taught him?
Dalton was going to try and teach him.
Okay.
So we got back there.
So you got the expert.
And then he got... So Dalton and Sam and one of Dalton's high school friends who now lives in Chicago, who will remain nameless to protect the innocent. I don't think he'd care.
No.
But they all like, okay, we'll shotgun a beer to show Logan how to do this, and then he can shotgun a high C. Well, they shotgunned their beers, and then he got, I think that might have been the second one they'd shotgunned that night. I can't remember.
It's probably not the first. It's the long and the short of it.
So then Logan got some stage fright, got a little shy, and wouldn't do it.
Okay. To
Dalton's and more Chris's, but Dalton's great disappointment.
You just ruined the whole.
It's fine.
Protecting.
It's fine. It happens. They were pretty disappointed, but no, we couldn't talk him into it. So we tried to teach my 5-year-old how to shotgun. We were unsuccessful with it. Which is probably better for me in the long run, but it's fine.
Yeah, you don't really want him mimicking that as soon as he gets to high school when he finds beer.
High school, I'd be less concerned about. Like, what I don't want him is like going to preschool or going to kindergarten next year and like telling his friends how cool his dad is and how he spent the summer shotgunning high C juices at racetracks.
It's probably the right choice. I mean, he's going to tell him anyways, but at least.
So I don't know. I have a feeling that may rear its ugly head once again at Alpine.
Oh yeah,
we'll see what happens.
Oh yeah, he won't forget.
No, probably not.
And neither will Dalton.
No, and I'm sure beers will be shotgunned at Alpine as well.
Yep.
So I don't know. We'll see. Maybe by the end of this summer, my crowning achievement will be that I taught my 5-year-old how to shotgun high C juices.
Or if you don't want to teach your children how to shotgun beers, you can come to Hallett Motor Racing Circuit and come to time trials with me and my friends. That same weekend.
Gridlife is a family-friendly function.
Mid-If TT is a family-friendly function. At Hallett.
So
same weekend.
So yeah, that was my Saturday night.
It's pretty tame-ish.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't that bad.
No, it could have been way worse.
We were in bed by like 11:30.
That's pretty early.
So,
was Matt Williams there?
That was just what I was about to say.
He wasn't there.
A Matt Williams-less Gridlife
pretty quiet, right?
Is a lot more boring than Gridlife that's not Matt, or that has a Matt Williams.
Yeah, I felt like the old man at Gingerman because like I wanted to go to bed at like midnight, and they were doing karaoke till like what felt like 3. Way fucking late. And they're singing late, and I'm like laying in bed going, "These goddamn kids."
I mean, you could have stayed in the second story of the stacker.
Nah, it's fine.
Oh, we also did the math on it. We counted the lift raised as a second story in the square footage estimates.
That's fair.
We believe it's around the 580 square foot mark.
That's good
for the
nice.
stacker.
Yeah.
One of Dalton's houses that he rents out to somebody is only 620 square feet.
It's roughly the size of his trailer.
So it's not that much bigger than his trailer.
If you count the square footage of the lift or the tailgate.
So there was somebody who had. So Ryan slept on top of the lift this weekend.
Yep.
We called that the second story.
And for those listening, whoever owned it previously welded in.
Yeah, it's got plates
all the way
like
across,
diamond plating all the way across. It's just
so it's truly a flat.
Yeah, it's not like a 2-post lift that you drive onto. It's like a big flat surface.
Yes.
But anyway, there was another one of the North Dakota guys has a full stacker rig, like a real stacker,
like a
rig.
proper one.
Yeah, like a semi truck and a semi trailer, and he, excuse me, he has the observation deck on the top of it.
Oh,
and you get up there by going through a hatch that's in the roof of the trailer, and obviously we want an observation deck on Dalton's stacker.
Of course you do.
Because that needs to happen. And so we were trying to think of like, how do we do this? How do we get up there and stuff like that? And I came up with a brilliant idea of putting the hatch right over the lift.
Yeah, of course.
And so then you use the elevator to get upstairs.
Then you keep riffraff out because the lift's already up.
Well, no, that's funny though, because like now we're using an elevator.
Yeah, that's fancy.
That is fancy.
So do you need me to bring a Sawzall to the next Gridlife?
Well, the only thing we were worried about, because we wouldn't want to do anything unsafe,
of course,
is we need to figure out how we do the railing system.
Oh, that's easy. You just put the little.
So the railings are collapsible.
Yes.
We got to figure that out.
No, just make them removable.
Right,
so you just
but then we have to find a place to put them.
On the lift.
There's a car on the lift.
In the front.
You'd be surprised how much shit gets in there, especially if we take 3 cars.
Yeah, it's pretty full.
It gets pretty full.
But that would only take
He needs a bigger trailer is really what it boils down to.
Exactly. One that actually has a proper observation deck. He's just selfish for not having one.
Jabay goes, no, he does not.
Pretty soon, everyone's going to have the big sackers.
Do you remember,
that.
like, the first year we went to Gridlife and everybody had, like,
open?
They were upgrading from, like, open trailers and, like, 24, maybe 28-foot trailers.
Yeah.
Enclosed trailers to, like, fifth wheel.
And there was only, like, 3 of them.
Right. But, everybody was slowly creeping upwards. And Adam goes, everyone needs to stop buying big trailers. I don't have room for all of these. And now, like, those are normal trailers.
That's all of the trailers.
Andy Smedgard's new trailer is 50 feet long. It's not a stacker.
No.
But it's 50 feet long.
That's absurd.
It's crazy.
That's awesome.
I mean, I think that includes the gooseneck area.
Yeah, it have to.
But still, Jesus Christ. You look in there and you're like, you can't even see the front because it's around the curve of the earth. I swear, dude. It's crazy.
It just goes on forever, man. Yeah, the trailers have gotten out of hand.
The trailer game has really gone upwards.
I'm just super pumped to be at 24 feet, man.
But credit where credit is due. Most people that have these really big, ridiculous trailers are bringing more than one car with them.
They're utilizing it as they should.
Yeah, it's not like people are rolling in with stacker rigs for a single car.
No. I mean, JB rolls up and he rolls 6 cars out of his stacker.
Right. So it's fine. But anyway, so Sunday day was beautiful. It was gorgeous.
Yeah.
Sun shining, the birds were chirping, like it was great, right? The track dried out real well by the end of the day.
It really did.
Yeah, really well, like shockingly well, because when we did our track walk on Saturday night, there were places, the water had receded, but there were places where the water was flowing across the track from high ground to low ground, like rivers. Like if you put your foot in it, you could see it diverging around your foot. Like it's flowing, right? And so considering the amount of water that was moving across the track on Saturday night, Sunday was a really great day. No crazy lap records were set or broken, I should say.
No.
There were, like, most of the pointy end of the field for the street mod class was there. Jackie Ding was very close to breaking Sean Krebsbach's record from last year, which was like a 127.8 or something like that. It's a fucking lightning of a lap. He was real close. He was in the 28s. Sean's is like a 27.8, so it's just barely in the 27. So he was like within a second of being there, but just didn't have it in him.
Yep.
And Moss got like into the 30s, and he said that he thinks it's there, but he had some issues with the car. So apparently that DCT that he very controversially swapped into that S2000 Super K, for those not familiar with the car, it's a bright green S2000. It's pretty impossible to miss. Super K Adventures on Facebook, or probably Instagram too. He apparently they make 2 of those DCTs. They make a close and a long ratio trans version of BMW does.
Yep. Okay.
And so they swapped the close ratio version into the car for this weekend. Apparently with that close ratio trans in there, it will only do 135.
Huh.
But that track is really slow.
Yeah.
Like
It's not a high
top speed wise. There's
Right.
not a lot of huge long straightaways. It's not even as high speed of a track as Gingerman
Right.
is really. So yeah, made sense. I don't know if he was running out of gear or not. He ended up just not being able to get there, and then the last session on Sunday he had a mechanical and had to pull off, so never really got a good flying chance at it towards the end of the day. Excuse me. So the only other class that was really interesting to watch this weekend was the Club TR class, the new class for Gridlife Time Attack this year. My buddy Ryan Seiler is racing in that. He is on the podium for the season points for now.
Yep.
Got a few things in our back pocket that I'm not going to talk about on the podcast
I like
because you never know who's listening.
Exactly. Everyone's listening.
For our strategy for this year
Yep.
that I'm very excited about. But Ryan's doing really good, all things considered. I'm really proud of the guy for the driving that he's putting forth because, like, he's been to Autobahn before, but it's been 4 or 5 years ago.
Oh, okay.
He's never been to NCM before. He's never been to Gingerman before. Both of those events he managed to podium despite having never been to either one of those tracks, and most of his competitors having decent amount of time on that track. So that's,
It's pretty damn good.
yeah. But yeah, we'll see where the rest of the year takes us. I'm excited for it. We'll see how it goes. Club TR has been a really good class this year. It's been really
Close, yeah.
really well accepted. Lots of people racing in it. And the times have been really tight, really close, despite, there being right now it is absolutely the K-Swap class that GLTC started out as.
Yep.
And I just think that that's mostly because those were the cars that most closely fit in that class.
Right.
And I think as time goes and the class matures, just like GLTC has, you'll start to see more variety.
Yep.
So I'm excited to see where that class will go. It should be interesting.
No, definitely.
GLTC stuff, I did my best to watch the races.
Yep.
Because I don't get to watch Time Attack, so as much shit as I give you and I give Adam about GLTC, I still enjoy it.
Of course.
Don't get me wrong. It's still some of the best racing happening on the planet right now.
Well, so I was at home. So I work on my own stuff at the house. And Sunday morning, I'm drinking coffee, watching TV, and I got the Formula One race on, and we're like halfway through the race, and then the GLTC race 1 starts.
Yep.
And I have GLTC's on my laptop on the live stream, and I have Formula One on the TV. For the entire race of GLTC, I never watched Formula One for a second.
No.
Trying to think who got passed. There's because Booney and I were talking about it later. He's like, yeah, when Leclerc had all these issues, and Russell ended up DNFing. Never saw a second of it. I had to go back and look at the results. I'm like, he didn't finish.
Son of a bitch.
I'll be damned. Because he's like, yeah, he didn't see it. I'm like, dude, I was watching GLTC. I could give a fuck about Formula One.
You should be too.
Yep, I know. I was more interested in GLTC. The racing was so much better. Formula One was so fucking boring. I just I'm not wasting my time with this. I'm watching this. I'm watching GLTC. This is better.
Yeah.
And it was better.
Yeah. So it was a really exciting weekend this weekend. It was kind of anybody's game. The interesting thing was the Saturday, the practice and the qualifying was on a decidedly wet track.
Very.
But Sunday, all 3 races were not. And so...
and it kept getting better and drier now.
Yeah, and so it was kind of anybody's game. Because, rain is the great equalizer.
Yep.
And anybody can drive fast in the dry. Not everybody is as proficient at driving in the rain quickly.
Right.
And so just because you did well in qualifying doesn't mean you're going to stay there in race 1. And just because you did poorly in qualifying doesn't mean you're going to stay there. Because you might be faster than the guy in front of you in the dry as compared to the wet. So it was really interesting to watch. It was a hell of a weekend.
Yeah, it was.
I don't even know who won the first race.
Smegard, wasn't it?
I don't remember.
Because he was.
I mean, it's pretty safe to assume
because him and Tom were battling right before Tom blew up his engine.
Yeah,
and I'm pretty sure he finished the race in first.
Okay, that makes sense. Between race 1 and race 2, as you just mentioned, so Tom blew up his engine in race 1.
Yes.
the car came off the track running, but it sounded like a box of rocks.
It was broken.
Oh, yeah, it was broken real good.
It's properly broken.
That is the engine that came out of Ben Thorne of Gears and Gasoline's, at the time, Street Class Time Attack Civic.
Okay.
Because he's now racing in Club TR, which does not allow any of the aftermarket modifications internally that engine had. And apparently that's what Andy considers to be the GLTC spec engine. So I think Ben and Tom worked out a deal and traded that engine into, and Tom was running that this weekend. So it was kind of joked about, like, oh, Ben, you dodged a bullet on that one, didn't you? Shit happens. It's not anybody's fault. But between race 1 and race 2, they swapped an engine into Tom's car in what was essentially basically an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours.
Yep.
They went from junk motor to running driving car, which is insane.
Protest. Protest. Actually, that was legitimate. My first thought.
Yeah, I thought that thought crossed my mind as well.
The Gridlife posted the pictures on like their Instagram and Facebook, and like it's good that this happened in GLTC, because I think if it was in any other series, somebody truly would have protested and said, "Hey, that engine doesn't match his dyno sheets."
Yeah,
and that would have been a legit argument.
So, to be fair, because we have a little bit of insider knowledge
Yes.
that I don't think Adam would be upset if we put out there.
I don't think so.
Because all the competitors are well aware of this. So, Gridlife has, I think, 5 solos units. AIM solos.
Yeah, data trackers.
I think they have 5 AIM solos that they will put in random cars every race.
Yes.
And they use those rules, or they use those devices not only to watch for cheating, but also to kind of help advance the rule set and increase parity amongst builds.
Yes, absolutely.
Which is a really cool thing that they're doing. It really shows that they're really fucking worried about that stuff, which is great.
Yeah, they want it to be good racing.
Right.
Very competitive. They
While
don't want
still being varied and interesting.
Absolutely.
So, which is cool. One of those units was in Tom's car, race 2, just to look for things.
Of course.
That was a stock engine that they put in and a modified engine that they took out.
Yep.
He was remarkably slower in a straight line, but because he's a fucking alien, he was still... He went
fast.
from... So I was standing just right off of pit lane.
Yep.
When this race happened. During the warm-up lap and the pace lap, he was out there. He pulled into pits before the green, because the car was starting to get hot, and they popped the hood. I'm guessing that kind of bled his driving.
I bet he burped the
coolant system. They topped it off, and he sent it. But I'll bet he was 10 seconds down on the green flag before he left.
Of course he was.
And he finished
like
11th or 12th.
Yeah, like way up there.
Like, I don't know how much they focused on it during the live stream, because it wasn't the fight for the lead or whatever.
They didn't focus on it quite as much. And I don't think I caught all of race 2. I did. I think I caught race 3 though, because I was working on my own shit.
Right.
So yeah, but I'm pretty sure they focus mostly on the front.
When you're spectating at Autobahn, you can see them. You can see like the last 3/4 of the last turn. You can't see them enter it, but you can see like the last 3/4 of the last turn, the front straightaway, turn 1, 2, and 3, and then they're gone again.
Yep.
It's a 15 turn track. It's 2.1 miles.
Yep.
So like you can just see like maybe half to 3/4 of a mile worth of that track, and then after that they're literally gone.
Just gone.
Like it's not just like you can see them off in the distance. They're gone. There's anywhere that you can spectate from that you can see anything else.
Okay.
Nothing. The only track that I say would be worse to spectate at is NCM.
Road America.
NCM is terrible to spectate.
I'll say Road America, you get like what's in front of you.
Well, that's because it's such a big track.
Right. I'm not complaining.
So I guess I'll find out.
We'll find out in October.
Robbie?
I'm sorry, what?
Robbie?
Huh?
Are you going?
That's my plan, yes.
Oh, fantastic. That makes me so happy.
That's why I'm skipping.
I really enjoy it when you're there.
I'm skipping events so I can make it to the events I really want to go to. Like, I won't make it to Heartland Park next weekend.
Right.
But I will make it to Hallett.
Right.
And that's all the lead up to make sure that I make it to Topeka Gridlife.
Right.
which I may or may not make it to Midwest Fest with the car in order to make it to Road America.
Okay.
So that's my plan. Shit changes all the time. But
Okay.
that's my current plan.
Okay. I really like it when you come to races.
Me too.
I enjoy you being there.
I appreciate that.
So it's great to have one more person to make fun of Dalton with.
And I'm good for that.
Yeah, if anything. So I'm getting a text from Dalton right now. We are. It's fine. Don't worry.
Oh, yeah. Group text.
So anyway, every time that Tom came around, he was 2 to 4 cars farther ahead than he was the last lap.
Of course he was.
I mean, just a freak of nature. Now I realize that, like, you know, despite there being a lot of class parity built into the rules, there's still a huge margin from the fastest to the slowest guys.
Absolutely.
In the race, which is just
between the cars and the drivers. I mean, there's a huge gap.
Not only is there a huge gap in talent, and I'm not saying that there's a bunch of bad drivers.
No, of course
that's not what I'm saying. But like when you have some of these people that like are not only capable of being, but are national championships and pro drivers and whatever, and then just like
me,
Robbie Veerhout. They're like, you know, you've got some decent time in the driver's seat, and I'm sure you're a capable driver in your own right. But you're not Andy Smedgard.
Or Tom
You're
O'Gorman.
not Tom O'Gorman. You're not Brian Highcotter.
Nope.
You just aren't.
Nope. I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
It gives me something to strive for.
Right. The fact that you get to share track with those guys is amazing.
I want to be competing against them because then I know what I want to be obtaining.
But still, with, you know, Adam said that car in a straight line was remarkably slower than in sessions previous.
Yep.
And so with that thought in mind, the fact that he was still just able to
get up to 11th
I
place.
mean, those people could have just not, they could just as well have not been moving.
Yeah, of course.
And he just drove around them. Outside of the corners, inside of the corners, in the straightaways, in the braking zone. It didn't fucking matter because he's an alien.
Yep. He's so fast. So fast. Yep. No, and I do appreciate that you know, let's say someone had gone because like my first when I saw that picture, my first thought went to when Booney and those guys got protested. Not because they had an illegal car or because the modifications were illegal, but because they literally didn't have a printed copy of their dyno sheet.
Yeah.
That was what they were protested for, and they couldn't produce it in the time that they needed to, and they got penalized for it.
Right.
That was my first thought, was like, well, they're not going to be able to produce a legitimate dyno sheet for that engine. Granted, you could prove that it's slower, and because they have the data, they could actually show it, and I think you have a leg to stand on and say, hey, you know, this isn't worth a protest. And I'm glad they didn't protest it. But that was my first thought, was like, man, if this was WRL, someone would protest it, and it wouldn't be worth your time.
So the rules did say that you have to make they do, it is worded so that you make what your dyno says or less. It does say or less. It doesn't say I make this or less.
Yep. You can
so
claim.
That's perfectly reasonable.
Yep. Yeah, you can claim
anything you want.
Yeah, any weight or any weight or horsepower, as long as you're on the opposite ends of those.
Right.
It's like,
as long as you're
overweight or underpowered.
Yeah, as long as you're in the green.
Yeah. So I mean,
claim whatever you want.
Yeah, they couldn't be able to prove it on a dyno, but you know, but they had the data. They could back it. And I'm glad we didn't go down that route. And I think it helps that they have the GLTC group chat, and like, you know, a lot of these guys are
friends.
Like, I mean, I'm glad it worked out the way it did.
Yeah,
I really am.
It's cool. So, the only other race that I know where we finished, race 3, Swenson finished
in
first under yellow.
Yes.
Which I know he was kind of upset about, which I can understand because he wanted to win
outright
on his own right, not because he couldn't be passed.
Yeah, but I mean,
in that first half of that lap, first half of that race, he really drove away from it.
Yeah.
You know,
no, it was shaking up.
He's been a very controversial racer. That's been a very controversial car this year.
Yeah.
Swenson's a nice guy. Like, I like him, but it's really, it's sometimes I felt like, beginning of this year, I feel like I can say this even if he's listening. It was kind of like, well, fuck you too, because there was a lot of drama at Coda, and it was kind of a deal, and I felt like it was rough, and then at NCM everything turned around, and then after what happened at spring kickoff with the tire rule changes, stuff like that, I was kind of like, man, that's a fucking kick in the crotch.
Yeah, for sure.
Sorry, Adam, but I mean, I haven't seen the data and I'm not nearly as smart as you, but from the outside looking in, it looked like a huge change that was kind of knee-jerked.
I can see why people felt that way. I know that it wasn't.
I'm sure that it wasn't.
It wasn't strictly based on that data alone. There was other data, and
Right.
I know that. Yeah. I know there was obviously a shitload of conversation in the group chat, a bunch of conversation on Facebook, a bunch of conversations that we weren't even privy to.
Right.
So I mean, it wasn't as knee jerk as it felt.
Right.
So I mean,
but it did feel like a real kick in the crotch.
Yeah, especially because he goes and wins, and it's like, hey, sorry, take that away.
You're clearly too fast for this. We got to fix this problem.
Yep. So I could see why he would feel that way.
And so it was good to see that he still found a way to make things work, make the rules work the way he wants them to.
Yep.
That he can still provide a good performance and a good car and put down a good race. So
absolutely,
I'm glad for him that he can still do that and be competitive. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. No, I think
it's such a weird thing.
And I've said this many times. I think GLTC is in such an infancy.
Yeah.
That to have the parity that they have between cars that are so different.
Yeah.
Is not to be understated. Like it's a big deal that this group is that competitive. So I know Adam doesn't get the credit he deserves. Everyone always complains all day, every day about
everybody
it.
Does.
But it's GLTC for being how young it is and how competitive it is. It's remarkable, and it's only gonna get more parity and more competitive in a good way.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to be a part of it. But
should be. So, one other thing I want to talk about, and then, or I guess there's two other things I want to talk about.
Okay.
One of them, the live stream stuff. So one of those sessions, immediately following, or one of the time attack sessions was immediately following, one of the GLTC races. Yep. And Abe, who's normally with me in the time attack announcing, he also does a bunch of stuff with those AIM solos that we were talking about earlier that are owned by Gridlife. And I don't know exactly if they were checking somebody or something, but
probably.
He was like, I can't be in the booth right now. I need to deal with this. So you're going to be with Kyle, which Kyle's great.
Yeah, for sure.
He's
extremely talented.
He's like 6 leagues above me when it comes to his ability to announce a race.
For sure.
Like six isn't enough. Six isn't enough. He's 100 times better than I could ever dream of being for announcing a GLTC race.
I'll even say, like, watching
a wheel-to-wheel race.
Yeah, watching GLTC with his commentary is as good as Formula One's commentary. I'm not saying they're the same, because they're not, but it's...
But, like, if it was me and Abe doing the GLTC announcing, GLTC's racing wouldn't be as good to watch.
Agreed. But yeah, the way
he's
he presents
so good at it.
Yep.
But like, it was kind of fun to watch him do his thing.
Yeah, of course.
Because I think if I understand this correctly, he is a full-time employee doing the live stream things.
That's how I understood it. I think he does some other stuff
because he does all of the back end development and stuff like that. Like, I think this is his job.
For sure.
Like, I know he also is working, or at least last year he was working for World Challenge, and I know that he does a lot of stuff with that Sim TV stuff. Yeah. But like, this is a paid gig. It's
his baby.
One of his jobs.
Yes.
And so he's a little more involved in it than I am. Obviously, I just show up and like sit in a chair and talk to Abe mostly. But like, so when we're in the booth, there's a little box in front of us that our headphones are plugged into, and there's a talk. Or does it say talk? It says something, and then a cough button, right? And the cough, you can just push the button and it mutes your mic, and you, right?
Oh, yeah.
But the other one allows you to talk to the producer. And so, generally speaking, we only push that button when we're like before the racing starts. Like, if live. I'm like, oh, this is how you spell my name and stuff like that, right? Well, he's like pushing that button and telling him to focus on this car, focus on that car, do this thing, do that thing.
Directing.
And I was like, this is fucking wild. Kyle's really good.
Yep.
Really, really good.
Yep. No, the way he does GLTC and like the in the moment commentary of like what's happening is very good.
And I know that I don't think he's super excited to do time attack stuff, but he did a really good job of it.
For something that's out of his wheelhouse, for sure.
Yeah. he's good at calling what's happening on the track. And then he did a good job of like referring to me about questions about specific cars and stuff like that I was then able to answer for him.
Perfect.
He did a really good job of that. And even some like off the cuff discussion about stuff that didn't matter.
You got to have that.
But yeah, like that's kind of part of the game. So
that's good. That's good that he could fill in like that because I know like he knows the GLTC is his bread and butter.
Yeah.
And he knows that time attack isn't his bread and butter.
Yeah.
So I'll be able him to jump into that and kind of run with it and make it work. That's good.
He did a really good job. So, yeah. Then the last thing I want to talk about is this fucking duck.
Tell me about this because it was tagged in a lot of things. Ryan Literal had a picture with it.
So I think this is Ryan Literal and his girlfriend's
duck.
And
like a live.
She's
duck.
something like Duck Mother or something like that on Instagram.
She is, and then the duck itself has its own Instagram.
That might be true too.
Yeah,
but
I looked up.
So what I gathered from some conversations that I had with other people who had conversations with Ryan and or his girlfriend, wife, whatever she is,
I don't know,
his significant other.
There you go.
Is that this is their house duck?
Yeah,
and that they also have 4 or 5 not house ducks at home,
like yard ducks.
Yes. And when I tell you that this duck is as well behaved and well trained as most dogs, I'm not fucking kidding you.
No, the pictures implied that thing is a dog.
That duck followed them faithfully everywhere they went, off leash. And when he or she called its name, it came
and sat by them like a dog.
Katie went out there and pet it, and he just leaned into it and just loved every second of it.
Yeah.
That is a dog that looks like a duck.
That's probably a better behaved dog than most dogs.
That duck would make you feel real shitty about your dog.
Because my dog is not behaved.
Neither.
I cannot take my dog to Gridlife.
No, I could, but I don't want to.
Well, you rang the doorbell like an asshole today. You about got attacked.
I didn't think about it. Your dog just about broke his head on that glass.
I haven't seen him go into the glass that hard, maybe ever. But maybe he does it every day for the mailman. I don't know. Yeah, we're eating. Jess and I are eating because, like, I was mowing the lawn, and then you're like, "Hey, can we do it earlier?" I'm like, yeah, no problem. So then we're quick eating before you get here, trying to eat before you get here, and you come up and like straight ring the doorbell.
It didn't cross my mind. It didn't cross my mind that I should like soft knock.
As soon as you went ding dong, I'm like, fuck. And Yancey just takes off.
Dude, I'm out of
it. Just straight into the window.
I'm out of practice for coming over here. I forgot.
He
completely slipped my mind.
Legit attacked the door.
Yeah. I can't believe he didn't break his head open.
I'm going to be so mad if he does break that glass. I've thought about putting stuff in front of that so we can't see what's outside.
Oh, gosh. That was funny. I'm really sorry.
The duck would never do that. But that duck's super well behaved.
So, yeah, I couldn't believe it. They were just walking around paddock with a duck.
You know what pet I really want?
A skunk.
No, but I supposedly make good pets.
Yeah, they make really good pets, apparently.
A raccoon. I've always wanted.
We had one.
Oh, I want one so bad.
When I was really little, we were living in Kansas. We had a raccoon that I think was like maybe attacking cats or something like that. My dad ended up having to shoot it for whatever reason, right? We had a bunch of barnyard animals, a bunch of barnyard cats and stuff like that. And then one day, a few days after that, he's in our barn. We had this huge barn with a big hay mound and all that stuff, like a real full-fledged like
actual barn,
like cattle barn, right? But like an old school barn, not like a pole barn.
No,
like a real fucking barn.
Yes,
like it was white, but what you think of when you think of like a red barn?
Yeah, hay mow on top, milking parlor on the bottom.
Yeah, the whole 9 yards. And my dad was in there doing whatever, and he heard the yips and yipes of what he thought were kittens, and went hunting and found the litter of raccoons that were probably the kids of the one that he had to kill or whatever.
Yeah.
And so we kind of took them under our wing, and we raised them a little bit. And I think there were 4 of them, and my dad's buddy took 3, and we kept 1. And because we're really creative people, we named him Ringo,
of course,
as you do. And this comes as a shock to everybody, I'm sure, but I was pretty like high strung as a small child.
You don't say.
Yeah, I know, it's shocking, right? And so he wasn't my best friend because he was pretty skittish.
Yeah.
which, I mean, he's a wild animal.
Yeah.
He's mildly domesticated. But he got, like, my sister could sit on the couch sort of thing that my dad had in his shop and just chill, and the raccoon would sit by her.
Yep.
I never got the opportunity. But then he was, like, real attached to my dad. And, like, he would latch onto my dad's pant leg, and he would just walk around the barn or around the yard doing his thing.
Yep.
And the raccoon would just hang on. And, like, if you bumped him against something, he'd jump off and, like, get out in front of my dad and just, like, carry on and scream at him, be like, "All right, you done now?" Like, "Yeah, I'm good," you know. And then he'd get back on, and off they'd go again. And,
That's
like,
funny.
that was the thing.
Yep. No, on the way to work today, I was driving my GTO, and then I saw
GTO,
I drive my GTO every day.
Yeah, you do.
Every day I drive it, and
You're
then
not gonna sell it.
I am. And then I was on my way to work, and I saw 3 raccoons, like a mama and 2 babies, and they ran across the road, and then went to the storm drain, and then like you could see like the baby couldn't really figure out how to do it, so he's like rolling into the storm drain and like holding on to the thing and like letting go. I was like, man, those things are awesome.
It would be cool. It would be neat.
I think
if
my
you could
mom
get
had
that
one.
was a little more chill than the one we had.
My mom had one for like a summer, and then instinct, natural instinct takes over, and then it goes.
Yeah, one day we
Back.
just woke up and it was gone.
Yep.
Like it thought it was a cat. It ate with our cats,
Yep.
slept with our cats. It was a cat. And then one day it was just gone. I don't know if coyotes got it or if it ran away, but
Yeah, I think
it just is what it is.
instinct takes over, and they just go back to the wild.
Apparently Katie's mom had a descented skunk as a smaller child too.
Those are supposed to be really good pets,
And it was basically just a cat.
or a ferret.
Ferrets, I think, are a little worse.
I believe that.
They're a little more mischievous.
Yeah,
I'm told they're kind of real pieces of shit.
yeah, they like tear up your couch and stuff.
Yeah.
But you know what wouldn't do that? A duck.
A duck.
That's super
Although
weird.
ducks are kind of dirty, kind of stinky.
You say that, but look how clean that duck is. And like I've seen it before, where people put diapers on their duck.
Dude, he was living his life, like his
I
best
bet-
life,
I bet
because
that-
there's
I bet-
puddles all over the place,
Yeah.
and he would just like stomp in the puddles. It was fucking adorable. It was the best.
I didn't realize that Ryan Literal was a duck person, but I like it.
Yeah, I think his girlfriend or whatever she is the duck person, and so now Ryan's also a duck person.
Well, of course.
But I don't think that's something he came by naturally.
I don't know. I'm an animal person in general, so
Yeah,
I would have been.
But that was
I would have been super
That's
about
what
it.
Katie was too, and she was. I was like, Katie, get over here right now.
Look at this.
And she thought I was just going to show her something stupid. And she comes around Dalton's Camaro, and there's a duck splashing in a puddle right in front of it, and she just lost her fucking mind. So, yeah.
It's a great pet.
Yeah.
Great pet.
So. But, yeah, Alpine next for me.
Yep.
Same weekend that you'll be in
Hallett
Hallett.
with Dusty and Austin.
Yeah.
So all the cool kids will be at Hallett.
Yep, and I'll be at Alpine.
But if you are going to Hallett, be sure to hit me up if you want to use my ApexPro. I'll have 2 with me. If you want to get your own, though, you can try at ApexTrackCoach.com and use the code 10tenths, 10% off if you get a window mount and a Gen 2 unit. Haven't used it in a little bit. Haven't been on track in a little bit, but I can't wait to get back out there. I've been used to review my data as I go over my race and stuff from Gingerman. Kind of see places that I can pick up speed, places I'm making mistakes, braking too early, stuff like that. Yeah, super easy to just pull up on the app and then just go right through it. You don't have to jack with a laptop and download it and get some software and figure it out. No, it's just right on your phone. You just pull it right up, and it's super easy.
Yeah.
So,
The best.
Yep.
Bunch of them there this weekend.
Oh, I'm sure.
So I'm all over the place.
It's awesome to see that they're making their way around.
Needs to be on more dashes, though.
All the dashes.
See them on a lot of dashes, but not enough dashes.
Yep. But yeah, if you want to, if you're gonna be at Hallett, hit me up. I'll get you our spare one you can use, and then make sure you use the code Get Your Own. ApexTrackCoach.com.
We didn't put any news together, Robbie.
There's nothing in the news.
We've kind of sucked at it lately.
When was the last time we did news?
I don't even fucking know.
It's been a while because we did some interviews, and we never do news on interviews.
Oh, speaking of, when we're done with the show, you got to check the email because there's an interview opportunity I think you're going to jump on.
All right, cool.
That's some inside podcast stuff that nobody fucking cares
Break that
about.
fourth wall. Yeah.
But I think you're going to like this one.
All right, cool. I'll jump on it. Kind of a short show.
That's fine, Robbie.
We'll wrap this up. We'll catch everybody else next week.